my friends. Caribou means welcome, welcome aboard. All right, Jumbo, everyone. My name is Tiana, and I'll be your safari guide for our journey out here on the Harambe Wildlife Reserve, where you're with me for the next 2 whole weeks. Now, some safety reminders as we're heading on in. Make sure we are remaining fully and completely seated at all times, keeping those hands, arms, legs, and feet inside the vehicle at all times. These are live animals as well, so we want to make sure we're not yelling, screaming, whistling, or making any loud noises that could disturb the animals as we're entering on into their home. We are simply just visiting, so we want to be as respectful as possible. Now, it looks like the warden has given us the thumbs up, so we're going to twin day on into the Little Aturi Forest, where animals like to camouflage themselves. Their natural colors and markings help them blend in with their surroundings, so you really have to look behind trees and bushes to see some animals out here. Oh, already seeing the okapi to the right. The stripes on their hind legs make them look like zebra, but don't let those party pants fool you. They are more closely related to the giraffe, only known living relative of the giraffe. Now, I also see a black and white bird down there to the right, kind of standing in the water. That's called the saddle-billed stork. Those saddle-billed stork can stand up to 5 feet tall with a 7 to 9 foot wingspan. Now, they don't tend to vocalize. Instead, they communicate by rattling their bills. Once they find their mate, that is their mate for life, so they are quite literally together forever. Now let's head deeper back into the forest to see what else we can spot out here. Gotta look high and low. Oh, look up to the left. Those are the bongo. Those pretty chestnut-colored animals sitting up on the hill. Bongo are known as the ghosts of the forest because they're rarely seen. Their horns are tilted backwards because it helps them to get through the thick underbrush of the forest. Those bongo weigh in at 500 to 900 pounds. Now we're starting to make our way out of the forest, but we're gonna head on down by the Safi River now. So as we head down here by the Safi River, keep your eyes peeled for animals that like to be by the water, near the water, or even underwater. Sometimes you can find a Nile hippo out here or a Nile crocodile. Nile hippo, they can be fully submerged underwater for 8 minutes at a time before coming up for their next breath of air. A group of hippo is called a bloat. A bloat. Oh, look at all these white birds on top of that island you see. Those are called the pink-backed pelicans because their backs turn pink during mating season, so it's kind of like they're blushing. Like the saddle-billed stork, they too have a 7 to 9 foot wingspan. They're one of the only pelican species that nests in trees. Now we'll keep looking all around for more animals. Oh, further up ahead, I'm starting to see a couple of Nile crocodile. They're kind of down towards the left. See some Nile crocodile down there. I see 2. They can get up to 18 to 20 feet in length, weighing about 500 to 600 pounds on average. Now, while they mainly eat fish, they have been known to eat anything that crosses their path. But they are really great parents, Nile crocodile. Sometimes they'll hold their babies' eggs in their mouth to help keep them really warm before they hatch. often even poking a hole in the baby's eggs with their teeth, which helps them to hatch a lot easier. And on the warmer days, you'll see them with their mouth wide open, which looks intimidating, but that just helps them to keep cool. It allows the warm air to escape so that the cooler air can flow right in. Now, as we start heading over this way, you'll see this big tree up on the right-hand side, known as the baobab tree. That's the formal name for the tree of life. Some people also call it the upside down tree. It looks like its roots are way up top. Those baobab trees remain leafless 9 months out of the year. Now we're heading on into the savannah where I can already see a giraffe down here. Yes, the Maasai giraffe. The savannah is home to some of Africa's most popular animals, like giraffe. The savannah also hosts millions of migrating animals every year, like zebra and wildebeest. Now let's take a look. As soon as we come down this overlook, you'll see over to the right that Maasai giraffe. They can stand about 18 to 20 feet tall.
That's a different one, right?
That means whenever they're born, the babies have about a 6-foot drop to the ground from mom. Their spots are kind of rough around the edges with no definitive pattern. Their patterns are unique to all of them, kind of like how our fingerprints are unique to all of us. Now towards the center, they do kind of look like zebras. Those are the wildebeest. See, they have stripes. They're kind of grayish brown. Wildebeest means wild beast in Afrikaans. Now hopefully we'll get a little bit closer to a giraffe. I see some of them walking towards this way. But over on the left-hand side, tucked away in this little den, you'll see the African wild dogs, also known as the painted dogs because it looks like their coats have been finger painted. They're the most successful hunters in Africa, traveling in packs of 5 to 15 dogs at once. The dominant male and the dominant female then become the primary breeding pair of the pack.
Oh, I saw it.
Laying down over to the left, you'll see some sable antelope. They're the official emblem of the Harambe Wildlife Reserve, so they're pretty popular around here. Oh, these big tall horns you see over to the left belong to the Ankole cattle. Ankole cattle are part of the bovine family, so similar to buffalo and bison. Their horns get about 3 feet to 4 feet tall. Ankole cattle. Now their horns look pretty heavy, but they're nearly hollow on the inside. They have a honeycomb-like structure on the inside full of blood vessels, and it acts as their own personal air conditioning unit. And you can see this Maasai giraffe reaching high in the trees. They eat for 20 hours out of the day, only sleeping for 30 minutes out of the day. They do indeed sleep standing up, as you can imagine. Their long legs and their long necks, it would kind of pose a challenge if they needed to get up really, really fast. Now this little giraffe over here, he's just a baby. He just turned 1 not too long ago. A herd of giraffe are called a tower. They have the same amount of vertebrae in their neck as we do, which is 7. Theirs just happen to be a little bit bigger than ours. Now all throughout the savannah, I'm sure you've noticed the termite mounds. Termite mounds, they're made out of dirt, saliva. They harden in the sun. They can get as hard as concrete out here. So sometimes animals will use them as a defense mechanism, hiding behind them, using them as a shield if they feel like they need protection. Larger animals like elephants will use termite mounds as a scratching post. Now, kind of hard to see, but I'm going to point it out anyways. Up on the hill to the right, you'll see some little tiny antelopes. They look like little s'mores. See, they have white underneath, tan on top, dark brown in the middle. Like their name suggests, they can spring up 6 feet straight up in the air and 13 feet moving outwards. Now tucked away up on that hill to the right, that large type of antelope you see is called the eland. They stand 6 to 7 feet tall at the shoulder. Now there's another one right up ahead here coming up on our left hand side. Both male and female eland have spiral horns. Now we're just waiting for the eland to cross the road. See, we always stop for these animals, but they don't always stop for us.
He's posing.
Oh my god. Look. Oh, that's so cool. Stop. Yeah. He's so cool. Yeah.
Now we'll just hang out here for another couple seconds. Let's see what this eland is gonna do.
He's up close.
Oh yeah, a zebra. Oh, look at that eland. Another eland. See how tall they are.
Where's that zebra? Oh, no one waiting for him to, that's what she can do. Oh, yeah. Where's zebra? Where's, zebra's on the list?
Now those are the Hartman's Mountain zebra up on the hill to the right. They have a little flap of skin under their neck called a dewlap that helps them to regulate their body temperature and keep cool.
That's so cool. What's up? Okay, where's that zebra? Okay.
Now a herd of zebra are called a dazzle. And what the zebra and the giraffe have in common is that they both have a very powerful kick. Their kick is so powerful that they can defend themselves from even the most fierce predators. Now we're going to start making our way towards elephant country. See if we can catch a glimpse of an African elephant around here.
What's that?
Oh, over to the right. See him walking around back there. An African elephant. Once the females reach adulthood, they weigh in at 7,000 pounds. And the males double that at 14,000 pounds. Now let's see if we can get some better views up ahead here. Now sadly they're poached for their ivory tusks. He's kind of tucked away back there. Now a group of elephants all together is called a herd. So we're going to head deeper into elephant country, see if we can find a herd of elephants. On the really warm days, elephants, they like to flap their ears around, which helps them to keep cool. They can change their body temperature by about 15 degrees Fahrenheit just by waving their ears around. Now keep looking over to the right, you'll see them again if you peek through the bushes. Now while they use their ears to help keep them nice and cool, they also use their ears as a defense mechanism, holding them out really wide, which makes themselves appear much larger than they actually are, which helps to deter any predators. Now we're going to be passing underneath some red clay pits here in just a moment. Elephants like to eat red clay because it helps to give them lots of minerals. Sometimes their tusks will scratch up against this red clay all around us. So if you see any tusk marks, then you'll know that an African elephant was near. See some tusk marks right there on the right. Now that red clay, it's kind of the equivalent to us taking a multivitamin. I see a few more elephants way in the far distance to the left. We're going to go see if we can see them just a little bit closer. Now elephants, they have very sensitive skin. Their skin is 2.5 centimeters thick in most places, but very sensitive, so they like to put dirt, mud, and water all over their skin because it kind of acts as a natural sunscreen so that they don't get any sunburn. Now all around us you'll see more baobab trees, the tree of life. Now because they remain leafless 9 months out of the year, they do conserve lots and lots of water. So elephants, they'll tend to put their trunks up towards the base of the baobab trees and drink the excess water coming up from the roots. Elephants, they can hold about 2.5 gallons of water in their trunks at a time. Oh, and it looks like we've made our way up to the private island of the greater flamingo up here. The greater flamingo are the lightest shade pink of all flamingo. And they get their color from their diets. So they eat lots of tiny brine shrimp, and that tiny brine shrimp is full of something called beta carotene. So the beta carotene is the component that makes those feathers turn pink. They're pretty lightweight birds, no more than about 5 pounds each once they reach adulthood. And a group of them all together like that is called a flamboyance. Now sometimes you can spot another African elephant if you look over to the left. They're kind of hiding behind the trees. Now it seems a little bit quiet around the bend. Oh, I do see an ostrich over that way. An ostrich all by herself. That's a female ostrich that you see over to the left there. Because her feathers are kind of lighter colored gray. The males have very dark gray feathers that are almost black. Now ostrich are the largest birds. They can't fly, but they can run up to 43 miles per hour. Ostrich are the largest birds, so of course they lay the largest eggs. Now sometimes up on the left-hand side you can see a cheetah. So keep your eyes peeled for a cheetah. Cheetah are the fastest land animals, getting up to 60, 70 miles per hour in just 3 seconds. I see a cheetah laying down right over there. 2 cheetah laying down. Now you can kind of see they have the black tear marks on the inner corners of their eyes. Those help to protect them from the glare of the sun. They're one of the only land animals that hunts during the day, so it's like they have their own built-in sunglasses. Cheetah have about 2,000 spots that cover their body, so they disguise themselves very, very well. Oh, and another big cat up ahead. I see the male lion taking a snooze way up on top of these copy rocks. Taking a cat nap. Lions, they sleep or rest 16 to 20 hours out of the day. Now lions, they have a very fast digestive system, which allows them to eat lots and lots of food and then go back for seconds shortly after. Oh, there's that ostrich again. And also the lioness up here, right over here to the left. The lioness are the primary hunters. They do all the hunting. Oh, white rhino to the right, lions to the left. We're gonna head over that way, see the rhinos a little bit better. Now these lions, they have a very fast digestive system, which allows them to eat lots and lots of food and then go back for seconds very shortly after. Now the Swahili word for lion is Simba. A lion's roar can be heard up to 5 miles away. As we head down this way, over to the left, the warthog. Warthogs are the largest burrowing animals. Only the males have warts. Sometimes they'll take over burrows from other warthogs. Now up ahead I see the white rhinos and a baby. It looks like a mom and baby pair. The baby weighs in at about 750 pounds. Also the bontebok back there to the right, kind of hiding back there, that brown and white antelope laying on the ground. As well as the female ostrich eggs. You see her eggs down there on the ground? Those eggs weigh in at about 3 to 4 pounds each, equivalent to 2 dozen chicken eggs. And they are very strong eggs, so any one of us could stand right on top of one and it would not break. That is how strong they are. Now the rhino that we passed, there's no difference in color between the white rhino and the black rhino. The difference is their mouth shape. Those white rhino, they have a much wider mouth shape than black rhino do, because it helps them to eat the tall grasses of the savanna. Now rhino, they have a very muscular build that allows them to charge up to 35 miles per hour. Now we're gonna head on down here by the warden's post, the final stop of our journey. Now over by the warden's post is where the Nigerian dwarf goats like to hang out. So let's see what they're up to. Oh, looks like they're just hanging out. They're just relaxing. They are so cute. Their milk is seen as a luxury. And a lot of the times they'll play around together by hopping on each other's backs or headbutting each other. But that's just how they mature and assert dominance over one another. Now they are one of 2 domesticated animals out here on the reserve. Does anyone remember the first domesticated animal that we saw? It was the Ankole cattle. Remember, with the big tall horns way back there on the savanna. So those are the 2 domesticated animals out here on the reserve. Now sadly, my friends, our journey has come to an end out on the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. But if you would like to see some more close-up animal encounters, head on over to the Gorilla Falls Exploration Trail, where you might see some silverback gorilla, meerkats, naked mole rats, an underwater viewing area for hippo, and over 50 different species of birds. They're open until 6:45. But if you're headed over to Asia, we have a sister trail over there called the Maharaja Jungle Trek, where you can see some animals native to Asia, such as a tiger, Komodo dragon, might even see a water buffalo. Now my friends, as we start heading back up here, make sure you have all of your personal belongings, keys, wallets, cell phones. Don't leave anything behind. It is quite the long way back to Africa. Now we do not like to say goodbye around here, so instead we say kwaherini. Kwaherini in Swahili means to go well. So go well, go wild, and enjoy the rest of your day out here at Disney's Animal Kingdom, or wherever your adventures may take you. Again, my name is Tiana. If you have any questions, I am right up front. My windows are always open.